So on November 3rd, 2020, I literally had $2,000 to my name, $2,000 in net worth, because I had just put like $5,000 of my money. That was my entire money into a high ticket sales program that at the time, to pay for this program, I had to place a bet on the elections on who I thought would win, and I actually got it wrong. But anyway, I had $2,000 to my name, and now I've made 7 figures from online business and crypto and stuff 2 years later. Literally 2 years and 2 months later, gone from $2,000 to 7 figures. And this entire process was not on accident. Like, everything that happened for me for the past 2 years was intentional. This was expected to happen to a certain degree, and by no means could this have happened by accident. So there's a number of habits that I've implemented to go from 2,000 to 7 figures. And I'm going to teach all the habits that I followed in this video, at least the main ones. And so let's get started. So there's about 5 habits, I think it's going to be 5 in this video, that I followed in order to get to 7 figures. And habit number 1 is viewing money as bullets, and bullets that must be shot. When you accumulate money from a job, right, when you're broke, you're getting all this money. You cannot save that money and get to your goals. You cannot save money and get to 7 figures or financial freedom. The money has to be used as bullets to be shot at things which are going to give you a return in order for you to get to the next level. So most people, what they do is they'll get money and they'll fucking spray and pray it. They'll go, they'll put it in stocks, they'll put it in fucking drugs, alcohol, partying. They'll buy the dumbest things on the planet. They'll buy designer clothes to look rich. They'll just spray and pray their fucking money everywhere. That's not going to get you to your financial goals. What I did was I got a bank account made when I was 10 years old. And for 10 years, from 10 to 20, all I did was save my money and not spend much. So I had saved up about 10 grand from those 10 years, right? Obviously, I spent money on a few things, right? But I didn't spend too much. And I literally accumulated all this money to invest into this high ticket sales program, which cost me $5,000 US. So most people, they work a job when they're 17, 18, 19, 20, and then they fucking spend the money straight away. What I did was I worked the job and I saved the money, and I shot my bullet in one sniper rifle shot at this high ticket sales program, which got me to 10 to 20K a month in high ticket sales online. So most people, they'll spray and pray, get nowhere. I saved my bullets and I shot one fucking sniper at this high ticket sales opportunity, and that's what got me on the right path. So money is bullets, and you have to shoot it in the area where it's going to get you the largest return. And so the second habit is the concept of that diamonds are made under pressure. So the biggest motivator in life is pain and stress. Whenever I got comfortable, like I'd get to that first 10K a month or the first 20K or the first 30K a month, it's very easy to get comfortable. If you do not keep leveling yourself up, keep spending money, keep investing into things, keep bringing yourself one step back for 3 steps forward, you are going to get comfortable. I've seen it time and time and time again. Guys will get to 10, 15K a month online. They'll think they've made it. They'll buy the fucking nice looking Rolex and they'll think they're top shit, and then they will stop working. And all the work they did that got them to 10K a month stops, and now they're not staying at 10K a month, they're going to go back down to broke again. And it's only when these guys go from 10K back down to lower levels that they start getting motivated again. So what you have to do is you have to act before that happens. Before you get comfortable, you have to spend money to make yourself uncomfortable again. So the best way to do this is every time you level up, you have to spend money to get yourself around people who are at that next level that you aren't quite at yet. So let's say you get to 10K a month, you have to spend money to go to an event where everyone's making 50K a month. And then that's, instead of you getting comfortable with the fact that you got to 10K, you'll be humbled because you're not already at 50K. And there's dudes there that are multiple years younger than you, earning multiple times more than you. So right now, if you're watching this video and you're doing some normal 9 to 5, making comfy money, oh, I'm doing it right, man, good opportunities at this job, blah, 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 and you're comfortable, you're doing it wrong. You should not be comfortable. You should be in so much pain and so much stress about your situation that there should be a chemical imbalance in your body. There should be so much pain and stress that you have a chemical imbalance that you cannot live without this pain in your body. And you need to constantly put yourself in uncomfortable situations in the short term, not saying long term, but in short term bursts, so that you can give yourself the long term growth that you really desire. Because you're never going to get to 7 figures if you get comfy at 6. You get to 7 when you aim for 8. This is how things work, right? If you get to 6 and you get comfy, you're not getting to 7 figures, guaranteed, because you won't put the energy in them. You won't have the motivation. You won't have the work ethic to get there. And so the third habit is consciously engineering luck. Most people people, when luck occurs for them, it's random. They'll find $10 on the street, on the floor. They'll meet a girl at the club accidentally that bumps into them. Luck will just be random. This is not how your life should be. Your life should be luck from situations which have been engineered. When I think about my personal situation and all the huge opportunities that I've had that have come to me to make me a lot of money, every single fucking opportunity came from situations where I actually engineered luck for me to occur. So it was never random moments where like a moment of luck happened, an opportunity came, and it was from nothing. When I got my first mentor who taught me how to trade when I was 20 years old, that was from me emailing him 10 times over the course of 6 months for him to mentor me. It was not, oh, random crypto Twitter giveaway, I'll mentor one person on random who likes this tweet. No, it was me following up, engineering my luck, trying to get this guy to mentor me. Okay? So there's a big difference. And so most of you guys watching this have never engineered luck. Your luck will only occur randomly. If this is the case, you can never expect to get rich, because if all my opportunities came from me consciously engineering luck, and you're not getting any of the luck that I'm getting because you're not consciously engineering your luck, then do not be surprised if you're not at 7 figures yet, because you have to consciously create the opportunities that give you the opportunity to get to 7 figures. Now, the fourth habit is the most important one, and this is consistency. I learned the importance of consistency when I was 13 years old. I made my first online business when I was 13. So I was on an 8-week holiday after year 8 of high school, and I decided, you know what, let's build an Instagram account. Let's do something different. So I made an account called Go Feature. And the funny thing is I grew this account over 6 months to about 5,000 followers, right? And all my friends had knew about it at that stage. And they were all like, oh man, this is sort of cool, but sort of cringe. You're making money from this, and it's, you got all these followers, and you're like famous in this little niche of Instagram. And they got inspired at times, right? Over the course of a year, one of them would try to make an account similar to mine. And they would do it for a month. They'd post some photos. They'd get to 100 followers. I'd help them. But then they'd give up, and then the account would never grow. And another friend would try, and they'd get to 50 followers, and then they'd stop. And I realized that the only reason that I was successful at what I was doing was because I was the only one who stuck to it. They had the same brain, they had the same intelligence, if not more. They had the same skills as me. The only difference was they stopped and I didn't. So I realized the importance of consistency early, and consistency is what I carry in everything that I do. I've been doing crypto since 2017, which means that I lost money for the first 2 years without a break. Like, I just lost money every fucking day for 2 years with brief moments of profitability. But then after profitability, it was back down to losing more money. I was consistent the entire time, when most people, if this was to happen to them, they would leave crypto like they did, and then they'd come back in the bull run when it's already too late, and they're a fucking newbie again, and then they lose all their money again. So consistency is key. Whatever business, whatever skill you choose to learn, whatever market you invest in, whatever you do in life, consistency is the most important thing. Do not forget that. And number 5 is working with a mentor over lone wolf. So a habit that I've implemented is every area of life that I want to achieve in, I try to find a mentor or a coach or someone who can walk me through the maze of getting from where I am right now to getting to achieving the goal that I want to achieve. So every single journey that you go on to achieve something is basically you navigating through a maze. And if you go by yourself, you're going to have to go through every single dead end and make every single mistake yourself. If you learn from a mentor, they can guide you through the mistakes they've already made, so you don't have to make them yourself. So instead of you making a mistake firsthand, you learn from the mistake secondhand from the mentor who made the mistake for you. So basically, paying for a mentor or getting a mentor is getting access to learning from a mistake that you never had to make. And when you don't have to make as many mistakes to succeed, you speed up the pace at which you get to the levels that you want to get to. And that's why it's so important to never go lone wolf. All these lone wolf guys, they're just so fucking slow. They don't get anywhere fast at all because they make all the mistakes and there's no speeding up of the process. So if you want to get rich by 22, if you want to achieve anything fast, you have to have a mentor or a coach or someone to guide you through the process who's already done it before. And so habit number 6 is minimize dopamine. So I'm not saying that you should never have fun. You should never go party. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that for large periods of time throughout a year, you need to cut out sources of dopamine which are not productive for your future. So instead of going out partying every weekend, have 2 to 4 months where you don't drink a single drink of alcohol, you don't go out to any parties or any bars, and you just focus on work. Working, training, developing yourself, almost like a monk mode essentially. Because what happens is business gets boring. Good business is almost boring because it's just about building systems, hiring staff, scaling a company, learning new skills, outsourcing work. It gets to a point where it's sort of systematic and it's not fun work. And if you want to be able to sit in front of a computer, which is if you're doing an online business, and working for 4 to 8 hours each day, you have to minimize dopamine, because if you don't, you're going to have too many distractions and you're going to procrastinate. So you need to basically allocate certain parts of your year where you're going to just work, train, and basically minimize any sources of dopamine which are not productive for your future. And then you want to have spurts of periods of time where you have maybe 1 to 3 weeks where you could just be a total degenerate. Get it all out of your system and then return back to a monk mode. This is the most productive way to structure your life. And someone will watch this and they'll say, yeah, but Daniel, you just reinvented the weekend, right? Instead of doing 5 days of work, 2 days off, it's now 2 months of work and then 2 weeks off. But it's not true, because if you only allow yourself to have 5 days in a row of consistency on your business, it is much less effective than having 2 months of continuous work. Getting drunk on those 2 days you have off every weekend is going to minimize your growth significantly more than taking a 2-week bender. As much as it is the same split between partying and work, it actually is much more effective to do a 2 to 4 month monk and a 1 to 2 week degen than it is to do a party every weekend, because a party every weekend will have 2 to 3 days where you won't be at full productivity. But if you do a 2-week bender, the recovery time of a 2-week bender might only still be a few days. So over the course of that same time, you have a much smaller window that you require for recovery if you do a 2 to 4 month of monk and then a 1 to 2 week of generacy, right? So it's a much better split, much more productive, you'll get much more done. And it's also much more fun, because if you only have 1 day off to go party, you're only going to go to your local fucking club, like right down there, 5 minutes away is the clubs and stuff. If you only have 1 day off, that's where you're going. If you have 2 weeks off to basically have as much fun as possible, you can go do a trip to Bali or to Europe or wherever you want to go, and it will be a much more fun use of your time with a much more higher level experience that you can get. So that's a better way to structure your life. And so that's the 6 habits that got me to 7 figures by 22. There's a lot more habits, but that's the main ones I wanted to cover. Now, most of the money that I made came from crypto, and there's another bull run that's going to be coming in the next 1 to 2 years. If you want to know what coins to buy and what investment thesis to look out for, get the guide down below. It's 100% for free. You'll learn a ton. And thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.